Back in the life safety room. Now, I've just measured from the bolt to the gland plate. It's 340 mil. That one is 260 mil. These are 4-core 240s. I'm like, what on earth are they expecting? I've just lifted that one up onto the top of the panel, set the strap up to hold it. So I'm going to winch it in to there and then try and form a bend against the winch. I'll set something up off the end of the rack there and use it as a bending point to get a bend on the cable. But this is going to be stupidity, I reckon. Let's see how we go. I'm going to get one on the back, one terminated on the back, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put two back to back on these ones here. It's going to be great. Right, now what I've done, I pulled it up. It's well over where it's going actually. So what I've done is I'm trying to form a bend. I'm over accentuating a bend. And then hopefully what that's going to do, I'm going to drop it down. See where it is there? Above the rack. I'm going to let that fall in. And then as I've bent it, I'm hoping that is the piece up there is going to drop down and it's going to go relatively straight. So I don't even think I can set it up anywhere so you can see, but I'll try. You probably won't get a very good look at it. I think that's the best I can do. Basically, you'll be able to see me. I don't think you'll be able to see a lot of what I'm actually trying to achieve, to be honest. But we'll see. We'll see. Right. So I'm going to what I've done is I've put a tie wire on the rack at this corner. Now I'm going to I'm going to take that off because that'll stop it. I'm going to let the ratchet, the chain lock, I'm going to let that down. Right. Let's put on the chain block now and see what it does. And that's loose. So it would appear it's up to me. Okay. Right, see if I can do it manually, if I can do it. Because the cable's on the floor now, so it's not moving away. That is a big cable. Fiddlesticks. It slipped ever so slightly. That's not the end of the world. That's not the end of the world. Put that back on. Well, it's formed a bend, so I'm happy with that. Push that back in there to make me move those steps. What do I need to do? I need to pull it back in, so I'll use that ratchet there. When they're forming the bends in the rack, you pull the ratchet against itself. So what you do now is you make a loop round the cable. Let's see there, look. Put a loop round the cable, and then you put that through the actual ratchet and pull it round. So I've got to go round the cable, round the rack, and then back and through, and then I can use the ratchet as a self-pulling tool. Oh, a bit like me, a self-pulling tool. Right, down there. Round there. And through. Through the ratchet mechanism. Now, the question I need to ask myself is, am I happy with that bend? Well, I can't really see. It's not terrible. It's enough to get a measure from, I think. So I can get a measure over, drop it down. The other ones are going to come inside of it. I don't know if I didn't let it touch the inside of the rack or not. So as it sits, it's sitting on the edge of the rack. And I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to bring it inside of the rack. Oh, I went to step on the steps then, they went there. Let's have a look. See there, look. It's sitting on the lip of the rack. I don't know whether to bring it in here, because the other ones are going to come next to it, run up there on the inside of it, and then they're going to leave and go into the respective holes. No, I want to leave it as it is. And then I'm not taking any room up on this rack if those cables need to be removed. I don't need to. Yeah, I want to leave it like that. So that is basically, I want to drill 1, 2, 3. And that one's going to go in the nearest one, and the other ones can peel off. But I can quite happily get my measure from that bend. I think that'll be doable. I need 800mm inside. That'll get me over. So I'm going to put that one about there. I'll try and keep it as far over as I can, but I'll try and keep it as far to the back so I've got a chance of bending the actual core to this one, which I'm assuming, yeah, is the neutral. And then that gives me 800mm to get it onto that one at the back at the top, sweeping them across. The others, what I might have to do, well, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. If I drill them in a line or drill them slightly sort of diagonal to the front to allow me to cross them. They haven't left me a lot of room, like that's, again, typically, I mean this You could have took one of those out, two of those out, dropped the main switch down, and then I would have had that much room. But no, we'll just squash everything in. If they'd done it in singles, it would have been loads easier because I could have got them just dropped straight on, bum, 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 bum. But no, we'll do 4-core 240, shall we? Get Jointech to struggle. He likes to struggle, we've been told. But yeah, we'll have a look, get a measure on that. I'm going to get the holes drilled now, so I need to go and plug my lead in, get the holes drilled, and then I'll get a measure on it and get a gland on it. Fortunately, I look like I've got enough room above just to just lift it straight up and drop it in, so I don't really have to mess about there. Hoping to get at least one of them in tonight. I don't think it'll be terminate. That's another thing I've got to do. When I gland it, I've got to terminate each one individually because I haven't got enough room to have all of the cables in and try and move the cores around them. So that's always fun. I've got 800mm into the back. I can drop it down inside and hopefully I can then bend it back up because I can't access the back of the panel. I got my bit of cardboard in. I know somebody commented the other day about that, about not having, what do you do when all the stuff falls into the panel. I always put a piece of cardboard in, but obviously I just don't show it. So ready to drill holes now. Well, ready to get a measure and then drill the holes. I just had a sinking feeling. These are 240s, but they're FP600s for the generator feed. So that would mean that there could be 75S glands, and we've got 63s. Oh God. I sincerely hope this is not the case. Oh no. Pray for me. If it's only just, obviously that's just the cable stripped, but the gland goes on. Oh my God. That was a scary old moment. Right, gland's on. I'm going to try and lift the cable up and drop it in the hole. I've given it 800, and that's the depth of what I'm allowed to the bottom. So here we go. I'll be happy if I hear the noise on this one. That was tough. It's so close. Trouble is now, wait, let's show you what's going on. Take the hat off. So it's in, but it's at a slight angle, whether you can see, an extremely slight angle, but I haven't got any room in here because look, that's where it goes. So it goes down the back, and it's just slightly skewed. So I'm going to have to try and straighten it up to get the lock nut on, because the lock nut's biting against the gland plate because it's a little bit off. So I'll try that one. I've just realised something. The plan's buggered. I can't terminate them individually. They're all after going to come in, because if they don't, I'm going to cut myself off. I'm going to cut all of the space off for the other two. If I terminate the back one, the first one that I've got in there, I'm going to take away all the space I have. Oh God. Basically, watch, I'll show you. Right then. That cable comes in. I can allow 800mm into that well in there. But if I put this one across and terminate it, when that one comes in, I can't bring those cables like out the front, because I need to bend them and pull them round here or round there or whatever. Same with those. That one, so that one comes in, I'd need to lift it round the front. Now obviously if I've got cables dropping onto those, that's not going to work. So the 3 cables are going to have to be glanded, and then I'm going to have to pull all 3 cables out the front like this black is now. I've got those 2 to pull out. But now what I'm struggling with is how to form them, because as you can see, I've got that ratchet strap on there so I can bend that down, which goes up onto that rack, right? But if I've got those 3 holes filled, if I can't get a ratchet strap down into the chamber, how am I going to form the bends? Oh man, this is going to be awful, seriously awful. Right, let's see what I can come up with. So this is what I'm having to do. I'm going to ratchet the core up through the hole before it gets filled with the cable. So I'm ratcheting it towards, and then I'm going to bend it that way and get some sort of form into it. As you can see, the black and the grey, I've already done that. I've bent them through the same process. So I'm hoping I can get this one somewhere near. I'm going to give it the ratchet now. That's really pulling. You like the struggle coming in and trying to do this. This is going to be difficult to try and get this, because the angle now, if I put it on there to bend it any further, is going to rub on that. Oh dear. As the Chuckle Brothers used to say, oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. If I can get it behind this, can you see that? Just, yeah. I'm going to get that. Obviously I won't need this bit, so I can damage it. It's not a problem. I want to pull it and try and jam it behind there, even if it is sharp, and it gets it. It doesn't matter. Come on. So hopefully, while I'm prepping, let's have a look at that. As you can see, it's not exactly spot on, but it is formed. So I should be able to get a lug on it, at least. Even if it'll drop down a little bit, the lug will probably be about there. So I might have to jiggery pokery it a bit, but they're sort of formed to somewhere near where they need to be. Now what I've got to do is push them to the back, because if I don't, the other cable won't come through. So they've all got to be pushed back, and then like tied to the earth bar. And then I can get the next one in. That goes straight down. Then I've got to strip it, bend all the cores up and round, and then I have to leave them, because I can't form them yet. And then this one has to come in, same thing. Then I can terminate the back ones. And then what I'm hoping is, because there's a little bit of distance between these, the bars at the front, and the gland hole at the back, that they'll have some sort of bend or ability to bend. I mean, obviously that one in the middle is going to be sort of uniform, so they're all going to be awkward. That one on that side, the neutral's going to be easy. So L1's going to be pretty easy. L2 and L3 are going to be difficult, because don't forget, when I do terminate them, I'm going to have that onto there. So they've got, this hasn't been thought of at all again. It should have been done in singles. So they could have just dropped straight onto the bars, not 4-core 240s in less than 400 mils worth of space, where you've only got access to one side of the panel. Oh. There's a chance I'll be working Friday this week to try and get it finished, because it's my last week on this job. I'm going to a different job Monday. What a way to leave, eh? What a thing to leave on this debacle. Anyway, you know what the crack is regarding glanding, and then obviously the termination. So what I'll do is I'll check back with you when I'm actually doing the terminations and see how they sit. Holy, I've just realised something as well, you absolute spanner. I've put that one, I've put the brown there. That neutral needs to go on there, but I need to set it sort of a little kick in it with that ratchet strap. And I've jammed myself in with that, so that's going to have to come out. And I'm going to, absolute egghead. Anyway, I'll have a look at that. So what I've had to do now, I've had to tie each one of them to the back. I had to use one single wire, because obviously I couldn't fit the tie up through those holes. Oh, well, I could fit the tie up through, but I wouldn't have had the control to be able to bend it back through, because it's an inch away from the wall. And the reason I've had to do that is because in the well where the cables go, when that one comes in, that one there, it'll want to go straight down, but they were all forward of it. So it would have got tangled up in them and whatever else. So to create the space, that's what I've had to do. So when I've got that one in, I'm going to have to bend it all round to the front. Then I'm going to have to put that one in and bend it all to the front. So what I have to do is the cable drops in there, I've got to bend it up here, right to the edge, and then right the way around. The middle one's going to be a bit more difficult, because I'm going to have to actually bend it at the bottom as well. So that's going to be a pain. But once they're in, I'm going to have to find a way of keeping them out the way, so then I can lean in and terminate them at the back, and then find a way of getting those to the front. This is just going to be comical, this really is. But I'm going to, what's the phrase the youths say? Man dem shouldn't have to do this. and I am Mandem. So that second one up, it's up into position, it's been marked. So I'm just going to pull it back round onto the front, into here. Get the ring on it, get a measure on it, 800mm. And then we're good to go. Gland on, up and in, and then the fun begins. Trying to bend it out of this. Well, just not looking forward to it. I've just questioned myself as to whether it can actually be done. I know you shouldn't really do that when you've started a job, but I just think it's not going to look nice at all. There's too much going on and not enough space to be able to achieve a job that is aesthetically pleasing. So this is going to be aesthetically shocking. But what can you do? You can only do a wee with the willy you've got. And in this case, this willy is shriveled up, bent, and has got some sort of venereal infection. Nice. Whew. That's got to tighten a little bit. What I need to do now is I just need to pull that down a little bit. So I'm just going to use the lifting eye on this. I'm going to probably pull it from about there into there, and then it'll push it that way a little bit, and it'll also pull it down and push it that way a little bit. So I'll have a look at that. Anyone got any ideas? Look at that, man. Ridiculous. Obviously another one to go in yet, just to fill the space up a bit more. I've got one idea. If it doesn't work, well, I don't know. I really don't know. But there, right there, look. They're just like, well, copper bars, basically. That's what they are. There's no flex in them whatsoever. So we'll see. Remember to put your wire on when you're taking the armouring off. There's a strange coincidence has happened recently, I've noticed. There's a certain channel on Instagram, or should I say page on Instagram. I shared this tip on my YouTube channel, and then they shared it about 3 days later. And then I shared another tip on my YouTube channel about the hole cutter to rescue the hole. If it's a smaller hole and you want to go bigger, drop the other hole cutter inside the new one and it'll get its center and you go up and that. And then about within a week they'd shared that as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to incorporate another tip. I'm going to do another tip video and I'm just going to see if they copy that. Yeah, I might be able to track them down. I'm not going to say who it is yet, but just in case they copy the next one, then we can see. Right, a little trick I've used. I put the ring round the top, obviously, so you can strip it, and you know that you don't have to get your knife all the way around the back and make a mess of it. But because the cable goes down in there, and it'd be difficult running a knife from top to bottom in there, not being able to see what you're doing, maybe going a bit too deep. But you can't strip it outside, because if you strip it outside, when it goes into the gland, into the hole, there's a chance you'll nick one of the cores. What do you do? So what I've done, I've left an inch at the top, and I've ran the knife all the way down, and then I've left an inch at the bottom. And what this will do, it will keep the PVC in place, it won't fall off, it won't kink and get caught in the hole and not be able to go through and possibly damage the cable. And then when I come to strip it, I've got a little bit at the top, a little bit at the bottom, and the PVC comes off. I did it on the second one. Obviously I didn't do it on the first one because I didn't think, and that was a pain, so I thought there must be a way around this. So that's what I've come up with. Right, this one's going in now. Very light there. Check on that. Whew. Nice and free, hopefully. Now then, right, 2 ticks. One's pulling from there down a bit, but I'm going to retie this. Right then. Onto the left eye. No, not yet. Needs to go that way, like a millimetre. I wonder if I can get it. Lift knive's getting some stick. There it is. What a noise. Right, I'm going to put the locking on, and then what I've got to do, I have to pull it that way and down at the same time. I'll just get this started. Right then. So, I've dismantled this, well, dismantled the chain lock. Noisy, isn't it? Right. This up here like this. There we go. Oh, delicious. Boom, boom, boom. Into there, let me see what it looks like. It's not very bad. Ah, a little bit too far actually. A little bit too far. A little bit off it. There we go. Right. Right. That's that. Right, that's all that's sorted. Now then, let's have a look. So there we go. Up they come, and then they spread out into there. Now, the problem. I've got to strip that, which I've already stripped it. Obviously, I've got the top and the bottom to strip, and I've got all the audible insulation, fiberglass stuff to take off. Then I've got to bend them from there over, around, and lift all of these up. So I'm gonna have to rig something here above so I can lift them all out the way, bring them all around there, and have them have them laid out here. Then, once that's in place, untie all of those, lift them into place onto here. Now, what I think I'm going to have to do, see obviously that brown isn't far away from that. So if I can just move that across, put the lug on, it'd be front facing, and terminate that and push it, and then that's that sorted, right? The black is a little bit different. I've got no real means of sort of letting it kick across and down, so I might have to bring that one over and onto the front of this one. But then they're on different bars. And then obviously I've got the earth around the back there to get up. Oh, God. In the words of Graham Taylor, do I not like this? Should have been a rock star. I think that'd have been pretty good. Try and make myself a bit of room. Put the ratchet strap on, down to another smaller strap, and then come down around the cables. And then what that does, it creates a gap for me to bend those ones across there and then around the front and lay them out here. Now what I probably will do, if I can, well, no, I probably can just have them laid in that gap there. So that's not too bad. It's just getting in now to bend them. You couldn't write it, could you? If I'd said to you, this is your job, you go, oh, there is absolutely no way you'd design a job like that. You must have more off than that, have you? And I'm afraid the answer would be, no mate, sorry. That's all I could come up with. Not like 400mm singles, so they just drop straight through and onto the bar and straight through and onto the bar. No. Wouldn't have thought to do that. Plus it'd make pulling a hell of a lot easier. No, we'll do it in four core 240s. 3 4-core 240s. Cheers. It's terminations now. Yeah, they're all up out the way, held up with the 2 straps up with the rack. I've just tried to bend that neutral by hand over to the lug and it is impossible. It might be possible if you were closer to it, but at arm's length, just not happening. So what I'm hoping is, introduce a bit of wooden technology, put that on the front, tie the ratchet strap round it, bend the core with the ratchet strap towards me and then push away at the bottom of it, at the bottom of the core to form a bend. He says knowingly. But that's the only thing I can come up with. If I can't do it like that, I'm afraid, well, that's it. I can't do it. I just can't do the job. Other than actually mount a plate on that wall that I can put an anchor point in and pull them that way, and that's the only thing I can think. But this isn't getting done today, I know that. I'm sick as a badger. Look at that steam coming off me. It's how sweating I am. Yeah, this isn't fun anymore. This is what I'm dealing with to try and set the cores, right? So I've got a ratchet strap so I can control it here, right? Hooked onto another ratchet strap which goes all the way up back to the steel work, and I'm pulling against that steel, all of that steel work, to try and set these cores. Now look at that blue. That blue, that was like incredibly difficult to set, to get into where it is, and I hope there's a way to test it without taking it off, because same with this, when this goes on, I mean look at that, there's the lug. There's the lug hiding in the back, and there's the cable coming down to it. Now that's I am never ever going to get that straight, no matter how hard I try. So that lug will leave that, it'll leave that at some sort of angle. It will not leave straight, that is for definite. It'll leave at some sort of angle like that. And I've got another 2 to put on the back, and then another 8 to try and get on the front. It's just a joke, this is an absolute joke. It's now 20 to 5, and I'm just not impressed. I want to try and set this brown now. I don't know whether you can make it out, but that's tonight's achievements. So we've got the neutral on, the brown. I told you about the brown. There's no, you couldn't do anything else with it. It wouldn't bend sufficiently to get it straight, but the palm of the cone's still touching all of the copper bar, so I'm not that bothered. The black is a little bit overcooked, but considering I'm working at arm's length and there's no room because I can't fit my shoulders in between them two, so I'm literally, everything's at arm's length using my wrists. So that, I think it's a relatively good job, to be honest. I've just got to see how these go in the morning. This is going to be bad, I think. Those were the easy ones, believe it or not. These ones, the front ones, are going to be terrible. I'm hoping the old rig works. I've also got a piece of wood. Where are you, piece of wood? Oh, there he is up there, look. Bit of 3x2, so I can put it round the front, across the front like that, and then get one of the ratchets, wrap it round the core, and I can ratchet it in, and then hopefully push the shorter piece away to form bends. So there's my 2 options. Failing that, I don't know what they're going to do, but we'll have a look in the morning. I'm not going to the gym tonight because, quite frankly, I am knackered. So I might go for a walk around the lights in the City Mile of London, see what that looks like. Welcome to Thursday morning. Now, I'm slightly angry at myself for this. It's a mistake on my behalf. But the reason I've decided to do it is because it's my last week. I'm going to a different job on Monday, and basically I thought I'll get it done and get it out of the way. I should have realised, I mean, I did say when I got the first one in that what we should have done was half the gland plate, put a spreader box on and lifted them up. So they came in the top a bit higher than that one, because I've managed to get that one, and I knew I could get that one because I formed it. And then I'd have more space to drop those in, but I didn't do it, and I'm regretting it now. So yeah, it just shows you everyone can make mistakes, can't they? So now I've got to really battle with this to try and get it in, and it's just going to be awful. I know it's going to be awful, but there you go. Bottle jack, ratchet straps. What am I letting myself in for? Bloody idiot. Right, please don't judge me. This isn't looking good, right? But I'm going to show you the process that I'm going through to try and get the cores into position. Should have put a spreader box on it. I've dropped a clanger there, I think. It's sort of, I knew I needed one on, but like the eagerness to get the job done, I've gone against better judgment basically. But anyway, I'll show you what I'm doing. So what I've got there's the grey look, awful. Anyway, I've got the ratchet strap pulling the cable forward. I've got a little mark on there now, and what that's going to allow me to do is bend. I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to bend it back into there. It won't touch there because I've measured it, so I'm going to bend it back in and form a bend. Got black and grey. I've got my cut, my mark for to bend it. The ratchet strap's on full tension, that is proper tight. So what the idea is, I don't think I'll be able to do it to show it. I'll have a try. So I'm going to cut this, and then I'm going to use it so it's shortened, so when I bend it, hopefully, I've measured it right, it won't hit this top piece here. And I can exaggerate the bend in through there, or that one maybe. And then I can get a bend actually set into the lug. Get it measured, get it cut, get it crimped, he says. We'll see how that goes. Oh, bloody hell. Need to slightly readjust this. About there, I reckon. That's got the tension on that. Oh, Jesus, how strong are your thumbs? Now then, oh, look at that, some measuring it. Well there, boy. Right, what I'm going to try and do is bring that across the front there and bend it up into there. Now obviously I'm bending it in the wrong direction, but I will be able to manipulate it into the position I want it, if I can. I mean, it's not going to be easy. Jesus. Puffing and a panting. Dear me. Right, take this ratchet strap off and see where that gets it, or see where it sits. Whew, dear me. I'm all out of puff. Can you say that anymore? Is that politically correct? Right then. Let's see what happens with this. Somewhere near. Now the decision I've got to make now is measure it with the tie wrap into there, put it on there, but then as you can see this comes forward and it needs to be bent back. So do I cut it, put the lug on, use the little bit of extended length with the lug and then push it back and form it with the lug on, or do I try and form it before I cut it? What do I do? What do I do? Well, that's not too bad. I can get a measure on that, I reckon. Measure that with a tire. It will go in now. It will sit because it's got like a little. You can't really see it on there, but it has got a little kick on it, enough to be able to sit into the lug. So I think I'm going to do that. I'll have to move this though. Right, I'm going to form the bend now. How I'm going to do it, or form the set, I suppose. I'm going to utilise the bar. This bit is going to get cut off anyway, so it doesn't matter if it gets damaged. And pull it in with this, and then what it'll do, it'll set itself a little set there to go into the, and it'll go into the lug, and hopefully it'll stay there in time for me to get a measure. So I'm going to try that now, and then get a measure. So hopefully the next time you see that, it's in that lug with its heat shrink on it. I hope. Right, onto the blue now, onto the neutral. So I've got it bent, got the ratchet strap on it, so I've got the ratchet strap onto the chain block, onto the rack. There's no giving that, boy. So that's pulled right in. I've got the bend set, I'm going to let that go now, let it drop into place, mark it, get the heat shrink on it, and then I'll get it cut, and hopefully, like that one, next time you see it, it'll have the bolt through it. This is beginning to be tiring on the arms. Still got that one to go yet. Well, there's 8 of them done. It's not the best, but then again, it's not going to be the best, is it? Because basically, there's not enough room. And what I'm hoping is that these ones now, particularly the blue and the brown, are going to be easier because I can bend them over and loop them, and I've got a bit of play up and down with those. The black and the grey are still going to be a bit pants, but I've got the rig up there, and I can pull them in and like I did the others. So I'm hoping get these finished and on, and then I can go up and do some more. Brillo. Done. I'm officially sick of 240s. The next job I've got is 2 240s. That's not very good, is it? I know it's not the neatest thing, the neatest job I've ever done, but in the circumstances, I'm reasonably happy with it. It was difficult, put it that way. In fact, it was very difficult. I've got sweat on and everything. So now I've got 2 240s to do, and I'm doing them on my own. They need cleating, they need dressing, they need pulling onto the rack. But the lad was going to do it, but he's had to go home because he lives in Wales, and all the trains tomorrow are cancelled because of this storm that's coming, so he's had to go home. So I'm going to go up and have a look at it, see what I can do with it. If I can't get anywhere, I'll just leave it, but it is now 25 to 4. So I'm going to pack all my tools up, which, to be honest with you, they're all over the place. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to get up there. I'll see if I fancy videoing that or whatever. Just before I go, there is this. Why did the chicken go to the chiropractor? You know? Idiot. Backache. So there it is, the last job. 2 4-core 240s, glanded and terminated. I got them cleated last night, and I've got them done today. So what time is it now? Nearly 2 o'clock. It's not too bad. But that's it. That's it on the whole job. Packing up, leaving. I'm apparently going to Oxford or somewhere near Oxford next week. So I'm out of London for a little bit. But yeah, I have to come back to do the generator cables, which is 3 240s into the actual generator. But that's not going to be for a while yet, and it'll just be like a day. I'll have to pick a day out, go and do that, and then I can go back to the job that I'm on. But yeah, tidy up, and oh, look at them there, what's that? So, if you've got this far, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you do the subscribing and the liking, because I've just found out that if you subscribe, and the more subscribers you have, the more YouTube tells people about you. I didn't know that, but apparently that's true. So yeah, subscribe. Be nice to get to 2,000. I think I'm nearly 1,800 subscribers so far, so it'd be nice to get to 2,000. Nice round number, isn't it? Don't want to get any of this, 1,782. Let's get rounded up to a nice 2,000. Anyway, I digress. I'm going to get myself wrapped up now, get my tools packed up, and drive home in the windy conditions, because it is blowing a hooligan out there, boy. So, thank you very much. See you soon. See you on the next one in Oxford.